And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Time for the mailbag. My wife Angie is here. Angie, we all missed you last week. You were off on vacation. How was your week last week?
Good.
Good. Where did you go?
Arkansas.
How was Arkansas? Beautiful this time of year, I'm sure.
Golfing.
You were
golfing?
Golfing,
walking around.
Golfing, walking around, going to the Crystal Village. Was that what it was called or something like that? Crystal Bridges.
Crystal Bridges.
See, I remember more. I wasn't even invited, and I wasn't even there, and I remember more of it. But you tried to go to the Walmart Museum. That's where I'd want to go if I could go down there. I would probably want to go. And
under construction.
Under construction. That's a hard time. That's disappointment. Everybody wants to go to that Walmart Museum, I'm sure. Last time I was down there, I had a meeting with Walmart. That was the last time. And, of course, I stopped by and hung out with your mom, of course. I did. So I was down there, and I had a meeting at the Walmart offices. It was a wild time, let me tell you. I said, guys, I need to get down to the business on this Superstars distribution. And they'll be like, Kyle, wait a minute. You don't work for Mattel. Why are you talking Mattel business? Well, I'm just checking. I just wanted to check on that. I want to talk about my stuff for my company, but I also want to check on this stuff. Maybe not, but I did make an appearance at Walmart number 1. Had to go to Walmart number 1. Of course, every Walmart store is numbered. Had to go to that first one and see what all the fuss was about. And really, it looked like just any other Walmart, but it was pretty big.
I went there for you. Went figure hunting.
Oh, that's right. She did a little figure hunting and hot garbage down there.
No filming, but
it was so bad down there. Some of the pictures she showed me, I said, what? Did you go back in time? Is that where you went back in Arkansas? It was even worse than my area. And so, pretty tough down there. Shout out to all you Arkansonians. Is that what they're called?
I don't know.
You're kind of part Arkansas since your mom temporarily lives there part of the year, so you're kind of part Arkansasian as well. Mm-hmm. So shout out to you. But you'll be going back next year, you think?
Probably.
Will I get to come?
We can figure out all the dogs and the kids.
I don't know. She always wants a week away from me each year. And I said, oh, yeah, you just leave. You go off with your sisters and go have your fun. I'll stay home with the dogs and these kids, these mangy kids. And I'll just keep track of them, feed them pizza rolls. I'll just do the usual stuff. But I hope you had time. But we all missed you. A lot of people said, I'm not going to tune in this week because Angie's not here. That's what I heard from many people. So shout out to have you back here this week, Angie. So
you're welcome.
You ready to go? You ready to go with the mailbag?
Yes.
A new year, new you. That's right. Oh, boy. And Angie, you know what? March is the big anniversary of this very YouTube channel in March. We'll have the 5-year anniversary. Can you believe that? Remember back when we did the 1-year anniversary special on this channel? If you missed that video, what are you guys doing at this point? Search that video out. Angie was there. Both kids were there. I think John Cena was there. Matt Cardona was there. Brian Myers. Smart Mark Sterling was there. He was a part of it. That old cagey outlaw Waylon Jennings even sang a song. Yes, everybody asked me a question. That could have been the question of the week this week. Who's that Waylon Jennings you always talk about? Mm-hmm. He's in that video and he sings a song for everybody. If you never saw that 1-year special, man, what are you doing? What are you doing with your life? That's what I'm going to say. So now we got to top it with the 5-year anniversary. So we're dangerously close here. We got about 3 months till the 5-year anniversary special. We'll have to get some special guests. We'll have to do something special. There'll have to be some giveaways. But we also want to hit 50,000 subscribers by then. So we need about, I don't know, a little over 2,000-3,000 subscribers, something like that by March. So it's going to be down to the wire. It's going to be a nail biter. So if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you do. And Angie has told me, she wanted me to tell you right now, she will be in a bikini if we hit 50,000 subscribers for that episode. So she said it, not me. It was nice of you to offer that up. So we'll be ready for that. You'll be in the bikini top for the video. It's going to be amazing. Stay tuned to that. Hopefully we get to 50,000 subscribers, because if we don't, Angie, you can't wear that bikini. I know you wanted to wear it today, and I wouldn't let you, but I said, let's save that for the 5-year anniversary special. So we're getting there. We're getting there. But let's get down to the question. But the first question here, I want to put this in here. It's from Mr. Syntastic, my old buddy Oleg out there. Shout out to him. Question of the week, what is the one toy you want most that you don't have in your collection yet? I'm not going to answer that here, as I actually have that video upcoming. I am doing a new video, which I did last year as well. Top 10 things I am currently searching, currently looking for. So I'll have that question in that one. But Angie, take it away with the real question of the week.
on 3x5. Some lines you don't collect and why?
Oh, some lines I don't collect and why. So
No room.
no room at the end. That's what they said once upon a time around this time of year. What don't I collect? So I don't collect a lot of like kids' toys. That's kind of like one of those things. Like kids' toy, could you define? But like little kids' toys, little tykes, things like that. Little kids' Playmates, Ninja Turtle stuff. I don't collect any of that kind of stuff. But the main brands, I do collect a lot of that. But there is stuff, I just never collected, like Brave Star and Silverhawks back in the day, because they were not on in my local area as far as cartoons. Angie, were they available for you as a kid? Do you remember Brave Star?
No.
Do you remember Silverhawks?
No, I don't
She's like,
know.
what language are you speaking? So there's stuff like that. But there's probably newer lines. I mean, there's a lot of weird stuff out there, like FGTV and the Skibbity toilets and that kind of stuff that's just way beyond my capacity for learning at this point. That's for the kids and stuff. But I do collect most things. I mean, I don't collect all the wrestling lines as far as like main events and stuff, just because just not enough meat on the bone for me with that one there. But just there's a lot of little lines, little ancillary stuff. And basically, if I didn't grow up as a fan of it, I'm probably not collecting it. Now, there is things in this modern day like Mythic Legions and Savage Crucible, some cool things I do dive into. But you can't get it all, that is for sure. But there's a lot of classic lines I don't pick up, Angie, as you guys, or as you know. There's a lot of other things. I mean, I would think there's more stuff I don't collect than I do collect over the history of toys and all that kind of stuff. I mean, Major Bendy's is a big example. Those are wrestling figures, but I was never really a Bendy guy. And Angie's just bored to tears by them. Oh, jeez. Well, I didn't know you were so bored by this conversation here. But
I'm so tired.
oh, please. Like you've been on the road to Arkansas or something like that. Who knows what you've been doing. But Angie, is there any lines you think I should start collecting? No. Barbies. That's one. So like I don't collect any Barbies or dolls or any of that. But I am very thrilled to, I think I've talked about it on a few fig hunt videos as of late. My daughters, Emma and Elle, are both collecting a little bit of Jurassic Park. Now, I was never a dinosaur kid. I was never a Cars, Trucks kid. Kind of lumped those people together. Those were kind of the people over on the outside of the sandbox is what they were. But not going to tell that to my kids. But I'm just happy they're collecting something. So it's a little fun going to Target right now. We're looking for Mosasaurus's or whatever that is. And it's a dangerous game for me. It's like, yeah, we could get that. But if they said, oh, can I get this new Taylor Swift vinyl? Can I get this? You don't need any of that. Come on. Are you kidding me? Listen to it on iTunes. But then, I need this $50 Mosasaurus. Yeah, you do. Why can't you get that one? So it's a slippery slope there, but enjoying some of that. So I guess by proxy, we're kind of collecting some Jurassic Parks as of right now. So we'll see. You got to find some dinosaur deals. It's the infancy of the collection here. And of course, I just had some of those Hammond collection figures, the like 6-inch scaled ones that I sold. And I basically gave those away. Uh-oh. What?
I thought I was going to yawn again.
Oh, she's going to yawn. I thought you were going to sneeze, or I thought you were going to cry. I didn't know what bodily functions you were going to do here at the table today.
I got a lot of problems. I put perfume on. It's not.
Oh boy,
I can't.
Dangerous. Well, we'll end this short. You go strip your clothes off and go upstairs, and we'll get down to it. We'll give you a shower. It'll be a golden shower, is what it'll be. It'll just be beautiful. So be ready for that. But that is it. That's the question of the week, Angie. As usual, great to have you here. I just couldn't imagine my life without you that last week. I was just really tough. I was hanging on every text message. I would text you, and she would read it, and she wouldn't answer back. And I'm like, uh-oh, she's probably in trouble. She is in Arkansas, after all. You never know what might go on in the wilds of Arkansas. So I was just waiting to hear your voice every single day. It was a wild adventure without you, and it's good to have you home. And it's good to have you back answering questions. So we'll be back. And of course, if you want to be question of the week, put it in the comments of this very video. And who knows, maybe Angie will read it next week. And shortly, maybe she'll read it in a bikini. We'll see what happens. But stay tuned. Maybe a one piece. Maybe a note piece. You never know. We'll see what happens. Maybe just some tape. We'll just get some tape and that'll cover it all. There you go. More to come. But of course, up next, the weekly purchases. All right, time to get down to the question of the week. And as usual, my wife, Angie, is here. Angie, say hello.
Every time you say that, I think you're going to say, time to get down to business.
The business. Question business.
That's what he says to me.
Question business. It's time for business. It's time to get down to the important questions here today. Before I take you out to a fabulous dinner of your choice between McDonald's, Wendy's, and Burger King. Your choice. Whatever you want, but you're only getting a water. You're only getting a water. We got to save some money here on this house. But Angie is here for the question of the week. Angie, how was your week? Was it better than my week?
It was a long week, wasn't it?
It was a very long week.
We had a lot of bread business to go do this week.
There was a lot of business, and it's funny that we talk a little bit about bread of all things, in this question of the week. So
did I lead you into your week?
You led us right into the question of the week here. So it was a very busy week. My head is spinning. I had a lot going on this week, and I don't even know what day it is. I'm totally lost. I don't know if it's the 15th or the 1st, or maybe it's the 31st of January for all I know. The mortgage is probably due tomorrow for all I know. We better get that paid. But a lot going on this week, a lot going on. But we're here. We made it through another week, and I'm just going to relax all weekend filming a million videos. That's my plan, and I'm going to be held to it. We'll see. We'll see. But Angie, are you ready for the question of the week?
I don't think you got to your point, did you? You said, speaking of bread, and then did you get to your point?
Speaking of bread, the question of the week. How about that?
I thought you were going to talk about something else.
I'm a beautiful segue. Angie, take it from here.
God, this is a long one. Mock Turtle 4911. In your Mondo Spider-Man review, you said companies lose customers by the loaf and win them back by the slice. Is there a company that lost you almost entirely and clawed its way back?
And that's one of the greatest things I've ever said. It's just a great thing. You lose them, of course, a loaf at a time. You get them back a slice at a time. You could take that to action figures. You could take that to actual bread. You could take that to anything in life. Whenever you're doing with consumer goods, you're always dealing with the customer. It takes a long time to win back trust, and some things take a lot longer than others. That's the way it goes. And this is a very good question from MOC Turtle, because I say this all the time. I'm a broken record half the time. But there are some collections that have done this to me before. Star Wars is one that comes first out of mind. And I guess a lot of stuff has happened over your collecting journey. But as of recently, Star Wars All In, Star Wars dwindling out, Star Wars Mandalorian back in, Star Wars basically outside of a few things here and there. And you've seen that over the last year on the channel. Angie, I haven't, before bed, when I lay my head down on the pillow right next to you, you sometimes will say, honey, what are you dreaming about tonight? And I haven't said Star Wars in a long time, have I? You haven't heard it. You haven't heard it. So have you heard me snore? Probably more than Star Wars is probably what she's heard. But Star Wars out for me. They lost me. I don't think they can get me back. We'll see what happens. They'll see what happens.
They haven't clawed their way back.
They haven't, and I don't know if they can. So, but I'm getting there. So now another one. Kind of, I'm working my way, transitioning. Always long worded. You know, Angie will say, "Hey, did you take the garbage out?" And it'll be a 20-minute story before I get to. Well, funny thing. Glad you asked. You know the neighbor down the street? I saw him, and he had his dog. And it just turns into that. That's the way I am. I'm very wordy. Very wordy. But the next one, as we work our way through, Angie, I hope you packed a lunch. We're going to be here a while. Let's talk about
my hair.
Let's talk about Transformers. That's one. They've lost me. They brought me back. Lost me. Brought me back. I've totally been lost at this point. I got my Dinobots. I'm good to go. But then they showed Devastator. I might be back for Devastator. We'll see what happens. But one fairly recently here was Jada Toys Street Fighter brand. Beautiful, beautiful figures. I was collecting. I was hot and heavy. They've only had like 6 releases. Only like 6 or 7, 8, something like that.
They lost you quick.
So yeah, I was like, you know what? I'm here. I'm getting this one. And then I said, do I really? I like Street Fighter. If anybody my age, we enjoyed a little street fight. Did you ever street fight?
Not really.
Yeah, I have. On the games and out in the streets. I've done both street fighting over my career. It's been a long one. You got to throw those dukes up. And I miss those days. Simpler times when you wouldn't get arrested for that kind of stuff. Nothing. There's a lot of people I want to punch in the nose every single day. There's probably people watching this that I deal with every single day that I would love to punch you right in the face. And you know who I'm talking about. But the Jada Toy Street Fighters, I got rid of them, or I kept them, and I said, you know what, I don't think I can be in here. They're doing all the variant versions, all that kind of stuff. You know exactly what I'm talking about here, I know. And then I said, you know what, Kyle, you're going to do something you usually don't do. You don't have to be a completist. You don't have to get them all. It's not Pokemon on all these lines. And I said, you know what, they clawed back. I'm going to get all the single characters. I don't need the repaints. I don't need some of those deep, deep cuts. I'm going to go on that. So I did claw back. I quit, and then I saw some stuff, and I said, you know what, I'm clawing back into this. That's what I'm doing. And very similar, Mortal Kombat as well, Storm Collectibles. I was totally out, but then that big old Goro and Shiva brought me back. So what are you doing?
They're going to be in our bedroom.
They will be in our bedroom, right between
No
us.
room.
Right between us.
Just in bed.
No, they got their own shelves over there in that room. You know where they go.
Oh my God.
So that's it. That's the answer to this week's question of the week. And of course, if you want to be the question of the week, send it in the comments of this very video. And I did film a gigantic Q&A. 2 almost hour-long Q&A videos from all your questions. Should be up on Patreon very soon, maybe February for all of YouTube. So stay tuned for some riveting Q&A coming your way soon. And that's it for the question of the week. And once again, put it in the comments. Angie, anything else out of you? Any hopes, dreams, goals this weekend for you? What would you like to see?
I'm so tired.
She's so tired, so she wants a nap. That's her goal. And guess what? I'll leave you alone the rest of the night. After I get you Wendy's, Burger King, or McDonald's, your choice. We can go to all three, and you can make the ultimate meal. How about that question? That's my question of the week for Angie. If we go to Wendy's, Burger King, and McDonald's, what is your ultimate meal? What would you do? What would you pick? Something from each one. Go.
I can't.
She can't. Come on. It's no fun. Well, I'll have to do it on a flash here. I'm going to say I haven't eaten for a long time, but I'm going to get the McRib for sure over at McDonald's. Ew. I'm going to get the spicy chicken sandwich over there at Wendy's.
Go on. You're supposed to do like a...
I know. That's what I'm saying. I'm really hungry. So that's what I'm saying. Okay, but if I have to choose one, I was going to go really hungry edition, but I'll make it even harder. I'll make it. So I'm going to go McRibs because it's seasonal, but yeah, McRib. I'm going McRib. And then I'm going to go... Oh, this is hard, a lot harder because I don't like any of their fries. All three. I don't like any of their fries.
Wendy's has the best fries.
Wendy's screwed the pooch back in the day with the fries. They messed them all up. They went to a different thing. They even messed up the chicken sandwich a little bit.
I like the natural cut.
They're horrible. I don't know. And their buns are so bad. I don't even want. Don't get me started. Don't get me started on the bread. Don't do it.
You should not be eating McDonald's fries.
Yeah,
I instantly get a headache if I eat them.
I never liked them. I always remember my grandma as a kid. She said, "Kyle, the best fries are Long John Silver's." Now I heard Long John Silver's went to waffle fries. Oh my gosh, my grandma, my poor grandma.
Corn on the
cob. Oh, corn on the cob ruined Elle's life. All right, so I'm going to make this fast. I'll go Wendy's French fries under protest. I'll go McDonald's McRib, and then what do I get for Burger King? I guess I get the onion rings. I'm going crazy. I'm just going to get... I'm getting onion rings, or I guess I get the drink from Burger King. I don't know. Terrible question. Terrible for you. Terrible question. There it is. I did, just now.
It's actually a trend on that people do where they go to like...
We'll do that on Angie's TikTok channel. More to come. So there it is. Question of the week, Angie. Thank you for being here. Say goodbye to everyone.
Goodbye.
All right.
Alrighty then.
Ready?
Burp the baby.
I need to get my tanner on too. I'm very pale.
I know. I was gonna do mine tonight. We can do it together.
Ready? What is up, everybody? All right, it's time for the mailbag. And of course, if you want to be part of this mailbag, put your question in the comments below, and you might be lucky enough to have Angie read your question. And Angie, how are you this week?
Good. Tired. Down with the sickness.
Oh, she's sick, so don't get me sick. I can't afford to be sick. I just can't afford to be sick. But we had a wild week this week, Angie. We got rear-ended. Do you want to tell that whole story? Go ahead.
You can. I'll cough it.
You'll cough through it all. But Angie and I, you saw it in the figure hunt video this week. We were at Target. Oh, beautiful Sunday night at Target. We were getting ready to... go to Walmart, as one would do. You go to Target, then Walmart on the figure hunt. So we were doing that, and we were at the light, and this guy just starts backing up at us. And I'm in the front. I'm like, what is this guy doing? He's just backing up, and we're stuck at the light. I'm the second car. You got the light in front of us, and he's just slowly coming back. So I just lay on the horn, and I think I laid on the horn for about 10 minutes, wasn't it? I don't know. It felt like an eternity, but it was probably 10 seconds. I'm like, what is this guy doing? I'm just sitting there, and my daughter Elle is riding shotgun. You were in the back seat. And I'm like, oh no, here we go. And of course, all of a sudden you hear that plastic crunch, and I'm just sitting there, man, I'm in my company car. And of course, your company car, you get in an accident, even if it's not your fault, you got to go take a drug test and all the rigmarole. You got to call all that stuff. And I'm just like, I'm more frustrated on the situation as a whole, especially on a Sunday night, having to deal with all this. What time do you think it was on Sunday?
Like 7 p.m. maybe?
7. I was thinking 6:37, something like that. So it was just a total just bummer, and I was all mad. So the guy hits me, and then he like puts it in drive and goes up a little bit. Then the light turns, and he goes. And I'm like, okay, well, we're at a busy intersection here. He probably doesn't want to stay and hang out and block all this traffic. He's probably going to turn right, then go turn into a business off to the side. We'll have to swap the insurance, play the whole game. Oh, just a fun time, of course. We've maybe all been there. Maybe. I don't know.
Quarter mile later, we're still following him.
Quarter mile later, still following this guy. And I'm like yelling at Elle. I'm like, Elle, get your camera. Take a picture of this guy's license plates just in case. And he was from a different county, which these country folk in Iowa, shout out to them. But, man, don't come to the big city. Don't be driving to the big city. So we're following this guy on a slow speed chase. It was like the OJ chase, but more dangerous.
We didn't think he was trying to get away from us. He was driving the speed limit,
I don't
changing
know.
lanes, fine.
I just don't know if he assumed he didn't hit us at all, or I don't know what was going on. But I definitely could hear the crunch, and my heart sank with that crunch. So I knew it was something. So I couldn't obviously get out of my car from where I was and see him drive off. I'm not going to get out because I want to see what the damage is, but I want to get a hold of this guy too so I can strangle him. And that was my plan too. I was going to beat the snot out of him. It was going to be awesome. I said, Angie, hold this camera. This needs to be documented. And I would just punched his lights out right there. It would have been great. And then when I saw him, I knew I definitely could have done that. There wouldn't have been any problems with it. But we're following this guy, slow speed chase, and he's just going normal, like 35, 40 miles per hour on the normal drive. And then all of a sudden, right in front of the Texas Roadhouse, one of the dangerous roadhouses there ever was, there was the light. And of course, go to the left lane to go to Texas Roadhouse and Walmart. He goes to the left, and it was a yellow flashing arrow, which means, okay,
He's gotta
proceed
yield.
with caution. You got to yield and stuff. And all of a sudden, he hammers it like a young Richard Petty back in the day. Just hammers on that gas and just thinks he can get through. There's like 12 cars, something like that, all going through. I'm like, oh, here we go.
He
and my
got
daughter
smoked. He got absolutely smoked.
and Elle right beside me, she's never seen a car accident live in person before. I've seen dead bodies strung about the interstate, so it's old hat for me. But she's like, oh my gosh, can't believe it. And this guy just tries to cut through. It's like there's no possible way he was going to make it. And he just drilled into that guy. And what was it? Probably an Explorer.
Yeah, it was some SUV. T-boned him, spun him out.
Just nailed that guy, smoking in the engine and smoking in the boys' room too at the same time. It was a wild time, and I said, that guy got it worse than me. And for a split second, it was a split second, probably longer from you. You got a better heart than I do. But I thought that maybe he was trying to escape us for a second and cause this accident in trying to escape. But I don't think so.
I think he was.
I think he was high on edibles or something. He was high as a kite. That's my guess. I think he was doing something crazy. He didn't know what he was doing, but he just drills into the guy, and I'm like, oh, great. Well, immediately, old Angie, she gets on the horn, and she dials 911. First, you dialed 999. You thought you were in England. And I said, no, it's 911 here. It's 999 across the pond. So she hit up the old 911, and then do you want to take it from there? You talk to the lady?
Yeah, I was just...
You were crying, full tears.
I was worried.
You said, oh, my gosh, this guy is dead. No, you didn't cry, I don't think. Did you?
No.
So anyways...
I just let him know. I just reported the accident, let him know that we were, kind of involved in a scenario with the car, and so a cop came and got our statement.
So you gave the whole...
The worst part is there was zero damage to our car.
Oh, I was getting there.
Literally did it for
I was
no
getting
reason.
there.
I stole your thunder.
You jumped way ahead to the whole story. You ruined the whole story. We were working our way to it.
It's already been 5:20.
We're working piece by piece through this story, so I guess Angie just kind of spoiled. So we'll shorten it up right here. So she was on the phone. That's why I tell the stories, apparently. Angie just goes straight to the end. I get long-winded. She called the cops. They said, hold on, we'll call you back in a little bit. So in the meantime, we pulled over by the Walmart, and we were going to Walmart anyways. So pulled out, got the flashlight out. It was dark at night, parked under kind of a light, and I could not believe it. Zero damage on the vehicle. I could not believe it. Had Angie check it out, see if there was any damage. We didn't see anything. So parked, of course, went into Walmart, found Leatherhead on clearance, $7. Check that out in the figure hunt. Deal of the week for sure. But then the cop called Angie back and said, hey, I'm out front, come out there. So then I go out there, and this cop's going to this red car, and I'm black, and it's just like, oh my gosh. So chasing him around the parking lot, it's below zero. It's just annoying. I said, I'm over here, come over here. So then he gets there, gets my license, registration, that whole rigmarole. And then he gets out.
On that guy.
Yeah, he had that policeman stash. He was a young cop, and he had a bright orange stash, so he had it going on really. He was living the gimmick for sure. But he pulled out his big, powerful flashlight and got right in front of the hood of the car, and we got in front of that thing, and we looked, and zero damage. Could not believe it. It must have been just maybe his bumper got damaged, or it was the compression of the two bumpers. Long story short, I didn't have to do a drug test. I didn't have to do anything. I was just clear and done. And then he took a little bit of a statement, but they obviously could care less what we thought. That was a bigger accident, so they moved on from us. I don't know what that guy was on. He was on Fruit Loops or something, but he was up to trouble. And thankfully came out unscathed to fig hunt another day. And then we went to dinner. Where did we go to dinner? We went to dinner.
We were all not traumatized, but we were
Oh, we went to Culver's. Oh, shout out to Culver's.
Oh, our adrenaline was up. So we all went to eat, and we were we're not even hungry.
Yeah,
That's
I
weird.
ate a chili. That's why I had a nice fine chili that night at Culver's. But
But
no,
the lesson to learn.
the lesson to learn
Don't
was that
run
guy.
from your problem.
Yeah, don't run.
Face your problem.
And he's lucky because I
Because
would
he
have
would've-
strangled him. I would have strangled him. He looked to be about 5'6", probably 125 pounds.
Young kid,
Patchy
poor kid.
bearded kid. I just would have picked him up like this and said, "Really?
You
Come
would
on."
not.
I would have, and then I would have punched him in the face a couple times. Smeared his blood all over the windshield. Anyways, long story short, we survived it all. Angie, thank you for coming. Thank you for being here. Let's do question of the week. How about you dive into it
already? All right. Jonathan Hodap 8735. My question is a two-parter. Do you want me to just read the first part and then stop?
You do whatever you want to do.
Since
You jump to the end. Just don't jump to the end of the question and let the whole story fold out here. That's all I would say.
Oh my god, I got the giggles. Since you do action figure unboxing, has any of your daughter's friends ever been like, I watch your dad's reviews or know you from that?
I don't think so.
Yes, they do.
No? Who?
In their downtime at school, when they have like an open period, that's all they do is watch Kyle's YouTube.
Why wouldn't you? I mean, that's what middle schoolers want to do. They want to watch some
But
old man in unbox action.
They don't like think he's cool.
I think all the girls are just in love with me. I say, you girls are all too young for me. That's what I say. Just sorry, guys.
The first time they came to the house, they like came and looked at the collection and thought it was cool. But I mean, she's had these friends for years now, so they don't.
I'm just old hat. I'm not as special as I used to be. But Elle doesn't understand how cool of a dad I am. But they all let him know that, oh, you got the cool dad, Elle. But she doesn't think so. She thinks I'm just a big
so
jerk.
Rad.
Yeah, I'm rad. I'm rad.
Rad.
And then there's a second part.
Oh god. Are you ever worried if people are over and want to see the collection that things will get messed up or damaged? Like if someone breaches and something falls and breaks.
Not really. I don't really care. I mean, if they want to touch something, handle it, whatever. Obviously, there's a few pieces. I don't think they need to be touching the King of Grayskull or maybe the Mondo stuff. That's always dangerous. So some of that stuff, but I don't know anybody that's going to...
I don't even know anybody that's like wanted to get in a cabinet.
No, I don't
They're
see...
always just like kind of shocked about it.
No.
Just walk around, they're like...
No, I think people just look and they don't need to touch it too much. Every once in a while, like my dad will be over and I'll say, "Oh, you got to check this out," and I'll hand him a figure or something. But he can be trusted with an action figure. I don't think my dad would break any figures. He doesn't got those meat hook hands or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, no issues with that. But yeah, I guess the friends over, especially the first time. Oh, this is so cool! Look at this. But I don't know, nothing wild. And obviously, girls maybe be different if it was boys too. But who knows? But there it is. That is the question of the week. Angie, anything else for you? Did you want to jump to the end credits of the episode? We could just skip way ahead. Maybe we could do that and just finish it right now. Skip over the weekly purchases. Who knows? But thanks for coming, Angie. And then, of course, you want to be the question of the week. Put it in the comments down below, and you too could be question of the week. But now it's time for the weekly purchases. Angie is here. Angie, say hello.
Hello.
Angie, how are you doing this week?
Good, still sick.
She's still a little bit sick, so she might have a coughing attack. You never know. We had to refilm a little Thundercats. Just right at the last second, she had a cough and had to walk away.
Yes.
So we had to refilm like 4 minutes of that video. But the second time, just like that, no cough. Just a true professional. You're getting your sea legs over here on these videos, aren't you?
That tickle will get you.
That tickle in your throat will get you. And Angie's thinking about taking the show on the road and doing your own video for the Patreon. A once a month video of just Angie on the Patreon. We'll see what happens there. She's got big ideas for a video series. So she does. We'll see what ends up happening. So maybe more on that in the future. You never do know. But it is question of the week time. Of course, every week we have the question of the week. And if you want to be the question of the week, send your question in the comments down below and you could be lucky and be the question of the week right there. But a busy week this week. Angie doesn't have a car right now, still in the shop. We were supposed to get that Jeep back, and unfortunately, oh yeah, we'll get it next week. So now we got to go this weekend and rent a car. Oh my gosh, got to rent a car. What are we doing here? What are we doing? We can't take the Jeeps out in the winter either. It's salt on the roads, just... First world problems, Angie. First world problems. We got to take the dogs, of course. We got to take the dogs to the vet this week. Finally got it the last day. We have this hot coupon. What is it, 10% off?
It's so hot.
10% off all vet service. You got 3 dogs. That adds up. So got to get a deal. It's a good thing we played that long game. So we're going to have the vet, and we're going to save 10% at the vet. Angie, though, unfortunately, those savings, she messed up this week. Angie, you ordered some concert tickets this week, I heard. And what was the concert?
Hinterland,
a 3-day festival with Tyler, the Creator. Oh, finally. Who else? Lana Del Rey, one of the all-time greats, I'm sure. And then
A lot of indie people. That
a lot of people. I don't know anybody at all, but of course she had to buy tickets, and Angie was just very, what's the word? You were very flabbergasted. She just never done something like this before. Very frazzled. She's trying to be a big girl and do these things. And it unfortunately didn't go good because she didn't read everything right. So you bought tickets for Emma, even though Emma gets in for free. Still had to buy her a ticket. Why wouldn't you? What else? You bought the more expensive tickets when you didn't have to, as they were all the same, right?
They tricked me.
So, like, you spent how many hundreds? Like $300 you really didn't have to spend that you spent. So that was great. So now that should eat you alive, and it does. But it eats me alive. It's eating me alive. How do I make up this $300? I don't know.
Could have just done it yourself.
Could have done it myself, and that's what, that's why I'm here. I should just take the reins and just control it all, I guess. I don't know, but I thought it would be good learning, but it wasn't. It was a $300 costly mistake. Hopefully, though, we could sell that extra ticket and make money back. Maybe it'll all be good, because it does sell out historically, so we'll see what ends up happening there. So a lot of adventures this week going on here, and this week, very busy week, of course. But once again, let's get back to the question of the week. We are going to a concert or something this week. What is it even? It's
is it? I don't know how to say the last name. Is it Volcano Sal?
Yeah, like
from Impractical Jokers.
My kids apparently love Impractical Jokers. Who knows? I mean, I've seen the show. I never really watched it or anything, but apparently the Sal guy. And it's not the Sal from Rush Collectibles. I double check on that. It is a different Sal, but apparently he's doing something. So we're going on that on this weekend as well. So we'll see how that ends up going. That should be just an all-timer, I'm sure. But yeah, maybe more on that next week. We'll give Angie's comedy reviews. Angie's pretty tough. If you do, like, I sometimes try to go to the local Funny Bone and do a tight 10-minute set sometimes to work on some material, and she usually heckles me. It's terrible. But one of these days I'll get better. I promise. But
I look like someone that would heckle.
We'll learn from the master, I guess, this weekend or something like that. But Angie, how about we get to the question of the week? Take it away.
Gosh. How do you say that? Duramo?
There you go.
Ron Duramo. Kyle, I have a question. How often do you buy toys?
Toys?
Every damn day.
How often do you buy toys? But however, Ron Duramo got the question of the week this week because persistence pays off, apparently. I think Ron asked that question in every single video I posted this week. So Ron apparently new to the channel. Curious. He's very curious. He asked it numerous times. So I said, you know what? I'm going to see what this is all about. So how often do I buy toys? And I would say it's pretty safe to say I probably have a delivery every single day. Every single day. There's probably a toy at the door every single day. So I buy toys on the daily, and I feel like I pay bills on the daily, if not bi-daily. I just paid a fortune to the mortgage and the Amazon card. Got to save 5% over there. Angie,
Target's due soon.
You're going to need to pay that Target bill for me. You'll have to use that because you got to have the Target card to save 5%. It's all about nickel and a diamond, as you've seen. You got to get the most out of your money, I guess. But today was a painful day of bills to pay, so... what do you do? But yeah, every single day I buy toys, and then you see them all in this video, weekly purchases for the week. So a labor of love keeps me sane, and I think if I didn't have the toys, I'd probably be dead.
Oh my God.
Yeah, dead. It's a gruesome thing. Angie,
and then who would pay the bills?
Then who's paying the bills? It would all be on you and your shoulders.
Scary.
So it'd be for your future husband would be paying those bills, I'm sure. She'd replace me in a heartbeat. Yeah. I think Angie will be on weekly purchases. I'll be dead. Well, Kyle died this weekend. She'll say, guys, anybody out there like, I like toys. I put up with a lot. Anybody want a future wife, maybe? So you guys get your resumes in. She'll check them, and she'll be thorough. She'll do a background check, too. Better have your ID. Don't forget your I-9. Oh, there's a deep cut if you ever hired somebody before. You got to have that I-9. Give me 2 forms of identification. That's the way it works. And one day I'll tell a fun I-9 story. I got stories for days. And Angie's heard them all 5 times. But I'll tell some stories one of these days. Maybe I'll do something special. We'll see what happens. But that's the question of the week. I don't think there's anything more meat on the bone there. Is there, Angie? I'm sure the next question would be, how much do you spend on toys? I've got that before. And I should say, this is a perfect time to plug. I have 2 about hour-long Q&A videos up on Patreon right now. You can check those out. I did solicit questions for those a while back, telling all my dirty secrets out there. A lot of people diving deep, so I did do those. You'll see those eventually on YouTube, but another perk of the Patreon to get stuff like that ahead of time there. So that's it. That's the question of the week. Angie's got kids to pick up from school, so we're going to do that, I guess. But that's it. So, of course, if you want to be the question of the week, put your question in the comments down below. And until next time, Angie, we'll see you.
Yes.
Goodbye.
Be book.
And now we stay tuned for the weekly purchases.